It is My Irish Radio. I am Jamie Flanagan. Thanks for joining us. My Irish Radio, 24/7 Irish music, a little bit of culture, a little bit of music, a little bit of everything that's good for your soul. You don't have to listen 24/7. We're here for you when you need us. Make My Irish Radio your Irish radio. Do me a favor though. Head on over to all those places, right? The FaceSpace and the Instagrams and all those things, and like and subscribe and follow along. And make sure you comment on Facebook. Say hi, and we'll do that. We'll say hi back. We'll do that for you. And you can request music right on the website, myirishladio.com. And you request music on any of the socials, send us a message. And because that's the thing. It's all about the music, the culture. And today we're adding a little bit of dance to it. We're going to talk a little bit about the dancing, along with a heavy look at the culture and the music as well. We're talking to the guys from Celtic Throne, but before we do that, we're going to tease you just a little bit, just a wee bit here. Here's the trailer for their promoting the upcoming tour that's kicking off here January of 26.
It captivated the United Kingdom this summer. Now it returns to America. This January, 8 shows, 6 cities, 1 unforgettable night of inspiration and joy. Experience Celtic Throne 2, Psalter of Ireland. Join the Celtic family. Experience this trailblazing new show, an electrifying fusion of Irish dance, music, theatre and cinema. Don't miss your opportunity to experience the revolutionary new Irish dance show capturing the hearts of audiences all over the world. Get show and ticket information at CelticThrone.com.
All right. So we got Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Iowa. There's a bunch of dates coming up, and we're going to dive into that as well. But I'm very, very happy to have with us today. And we're talking to Jude, who is the lead dancer, and George, man behind the scenes, making it all happen for Celtic Throne. You guys, welcome to My Irish Radio. Thanks for taking some time and hanging out.
Thanks for having us. We're glad to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about Celtic Throne. How long has Celtic Throne been a thing, and what's the creative vision behind it?
So Celtic Throne was a project we started working on in 2019. Our first show premiered in 2020, which was actually during COVID.
Oh, that's some good timing there.
Yeah, this story is kind of unlike any other. We've been dancing together, all the families that are in the show. We've been dancing together since we were 5, 6, 7 years old. So we're talking like early 2000s. And it was when I was 17. A lot of the other dancers in the show were around about that age. So somewhere between 13 and 20, that it was actually, I think my dad that was like, well, we've all been doing Irish dance together for so long. Let's make a show. He's not in the show. He and all of my relatives are in the show. So, but yeah, we said, let's do a show. We worked on it, premiered it. Obviously COVID wasn't a great time. So it's kind of picked up slowly from 2020 and just gradually gathered momentum. And now we're at the point where we've premiered our second show. We've toured the world with it, and now we're coming back to America, and we're performing it and touring in America for the first time. So, yeah, it's been a whirlwind journey, but it's been amazing.
All right, Jude. So, you, as I, have an American, relatively Midwestern accent.
Yes.
So, not an Irish guy. And I love I forget who it was. It might have been Jackie Gleason. It's like, well, you weren't born in Ireland. Well, if a cat has kittens in a stove, are you going to call them biscuits? No, they're Irish, right? Doesn't matter where you're born, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but Jude, tell me about your childhood. So what led you into this path of dancing?
So I I was not actually the first one of our group to start it. Of all the, my sister does Irish dance, my cousins do Irish dance, and then many other families in our area do Irish dance. I was not the first one to start. I started after my sister, and many of my cousins already had begun. I started Irish dancing when I was 6. I went to my first world championships when I was 10. I got 9th at that world championships. And then it was shortly after that, my family moved to Britain, and I trained under John Carey in Britain for 5 years. So he has one of the best dance schools in the world in Birmingham. And I trained under him for 5 years. He was the lead dancer of Feet of Flames, Riverdance, Lord of the Dance, picking up the mantle from Michael Flatley after he retired. So yeah, he was a very accomplished dancer. He taught me everything that I know. And then after moving back from the UK, that's when I started working on Celtic Throne along with my sister and obviously all of the other families and such. So that's my story with Irish dance.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
what
where
can
I'm
you
coming
tell?
from.
What part of the country? Where do you originate from?
So I'm from Oklahoma.
Okay.
But I lived in Britain for 5 years to train under John Carey, in England, close to Birmingham,
Sure.
to train there.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
yeah.
All right. Just want to get the origin story down straight. That's it. Fair play. So what sets Celtic Throne apart from other productions?
Oh man, it's a loaded question. So many things.
Yeah.
We deliberately, we watched tons of other shows, and not just Irish dance shows, like tons of other shows. And we just were like, okay, what do we like, and what can we do better as well? And and realistically, what can we not do better as well? Because some shows may have, more bells and whistles that don't work for our group or something. But we look for things like, okay, who are we as a group? What are our strengths and what are our skills and talents? And we tried to make the best, most innovative show that we possibly can. So with this particular show, it's not just an Irish dance show. We tried to make the music more cinematic. So it's something more like what you would hear in a movie, or a Broadway musical or something like that in parts. We also tried to combine elements from like cinema. So we have like a big LED screen behind us, and it's got these captivating images that we've created on there as well. And we also look beyond Irish dancing for the elements that actually are physically taking place on stage. So for example, we have a quite lengthy stick fight between myself and the other lead dancer in the show. So that's not Irish dancing. There's all kinds of elements like that, tricks and flips and live music and stuff. So it's like your basic Riverdance Irish dance show plus an epic story and so much more in the box as well. So it's loaded. It's really, really fun, and people love it.
So that was something I was going to get to, something I had noticed in the videos. And there's this, I don't even know what you call it, if it's dance or acrobatics or what it is, but it's called tricking. And
Tricking, yes.
There are just these guys, and they go out, and it's almost like hardcore parkour without buildings. They do these moves that are just like out of video games. And watching some of your clips, I saw a couple of those moves in it, and I'm like, well, that's not Irish dance, but that was cool as hell. So you've infused some of that. You said some tricks. So is it like, are you familiar with tricking? Is that some of that infused into there?
Yes. Okay. So personally, I didn't learn as much tricking, but all of us have cross-trained quite a few skills for this show. Yeah. So for example, almost all of the dancers also play an instrument.
Okay.
They might not do it in the show, but they do play, and a lot of them do play in the show. So you've got that as like, we've spent our entire lives preparing for this. And it's not just like, oh, we want to become the best Irish dancers in the world. It's like, no, we want to be able to dance really well. We want to be able to play music really well, and anything else that we can add. If you have a really cool talent or skill that you can develop, we're putting it in the show. So for example, my co-star, Isaac McDonald, he started tricking 4 or 5 years ago, and he just worked on it obsessively, and he's gotten really good at it. So we put all sorts of tricks, and then some other guys in the show also learned tricks, maybe not to his level, but they're, you know, working on other skills besides just Irish dance. So we spend our lives, like, this is our heart and soul. This is what we live to do. And we're just trying to add anything that we can, make it 1% better every time we do a tour. And so that comes out in the show, because there's all these crazy elements that we've added that most other shows don't have, because we're pouring our life into it, and we're trying to make it just as good as we possibly can. And it's a family endeavor, so it's not like we're just hiring somebody to come in and do it. It's like, no, we have the family we have, and we want it to remain a family show, because we're kind of trying to show people, like, this is what families can do when they all work together and really care about making something great. So yeah, that's a bit about who we are, and that's why there are crazy elements like the acrobatics in there.
All right. So I gotta, you talk about families and performing and musical things. I gotta make an old man joke, and I gotta say, Reuben Kincaid, if you don't get those kids on the bus. Anyway, it's the Partridge Family. It's very, very old. Men of a certain age will laugh. Everybody else will not understand it. But anyway, Reuben Kincaid getting the Partridge Family on the bus. But you've mentioned family a couple of times. And so you got about 40-ish people on stage. But how many, George, I don't know if you want to chime in on this. How many wheels in the machine? How many people does it take to make the Celtic Throne happen? How many people are behind the scenes and on the stage? And it seems massive, like a massive undertaking.
Yeah, there's a ton of things that are happening behind the scenes. I'm proof of that. I don't know how to dance. I don't get up and do any fancy footwork on stage, but setting up interviews, dealing with some of the marketing, dealing with the theaters, things like that. There's a whole team backstage, and connected to what Jude was talking about with family, we all are still a family. Like I'm not directly connected, but I'm married into the Celtic Throne family. My wife was one of the original choreographers. She's a dancer. She's now stepped away and had a child for us, so she doesn't get on stage anymore. But so even those of us who are like kind of distant from it, we are all still connected through a family roots. There's heaps of mothers backstage dealing with costumes and helping the little kids get on stage properly. There's a lot of fathers who are packing up the stage and dealing with the LED screen and making sure people are fed. So everyone is part of the Celtic Throne family one way or another, and there's all the bodies that are on stage. There's just as many backstage making sure that it's happening. And there is a lot of people on stage as well. There's 40 people on stage, and there's about that many, maybe a little bit less backstage, making sure it's all running smoothly and everyone's safe and everyone's happy and everyone gets to where they need to get to on time, because that's also very important, just having people who are logistically minded as well as creatively.
And that is something else that I noticed in some of the reviews. It's like, holy crap, these are kids and they're killing it. So what's the age range of the performers that we're seeing here as part of Celtic Throne?
I believe it's like from 8. Well, in our Oklahoma show, we have a few younger because that's where we're from, so we can have some more of the locals involved. But it's like 8 to like 25, right?
Wow. All right.
8 to 25.
It is a bunch of young bucks out there doing it. I like it.
Yep. Well, going back to what Jude was saying, it's like when you have a group that are a family and they've grown up together, it's a lot easier to have a bit more of like a routine and a schedule, and you can kind of train the young ones because they're your brothers and sisters who are younger, and they're your cousins who are younger, and you're seeing them all the time. And every practice, every get together is like a learning opportunity, and you can just develop the show like 24/7 in a way. The show is like always developing because the show is the family, and it's just always growing. You know, I have a son now and he's only 2, but my wife and I are thinking, well, we got to start thinking about dance lessons, and we got to start thinking about what instrument he's going to play. My wife's also a pianist, so he's definitely playing piano, and like all that is in our minds. And it's like that, when that's in your mind all the time, there's nothing, the show just can't help but being fantastic and being family orientated.
So the dance is amazing. You have modern and you're balancing everything. That's wonderful. And it all comes down to the soundtrack behind it. And you guys have music this time out, Brian Byrne, right? The musical score coming in from Brian. How did you connect with that? And how is that influencing the performance?
Okay, so with Brian Byrne, it's actually a really interesting story. So we were starting to prep Celtic Throne 1, the show we premiered in 2020. And shortly after we had the idea, we reached out to all of the best Irish dance, music composers that we knew. So we were reaching out to the composer of Riverdance, the composer of Heartbeat of Home, the composer of Lord of the Dance, et cetera, the composer of, guys who have done Irish music in films. And of course, at the time, we didn't have a show, and we had never done anything like this. So we were a no-name at the time. Brian Byrne was the only composer who responded to our email.
Oh.
And he was the composer for Heartbeat of Home. So of all the composers that we wanted,
it's a top
priority order, he was at the top. Yes, he was the one that we wanted the most. And he was the only one that responded. So we were like, okay, well, we're doing Brian Byrne. We're using Brian Byrne to write this music. So we corresponded back and forth. The music production process is very involved. It's a lot of like, okay, well, here's some reference tracks. We want it to sound something like this between these timestamps. And then he sends something back, and then you send back edits, and you keep corresponding until we have something everyone likes. And then you do the next piece. So we did that it probably took about a year or more by the time we got all the music done. And we came up with something for Celtic Throne 1 that's traditionally Irish, but fuses all of these other elements as well. So it's unlike anything you've ever heard. You can look at the album. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all the music streaming services if you're interested. And then with Celtic Throne 2, we took all of what we learned from the first show, and we said, okay, let's see if we can make it even better. And by better, we actually tried to lean more into the cinematic sound. So it sounds very much like something you would hear in a major blockbuster movie. Brian Byrne being a major blockbuster movie composer, Golden Globe nominated composer actually. And we tried to make dance music that sounded like that. So it's the kind of thing where it's like, this isn't just music you would turn on in a pub and it's fun to dance to, but it's kind of annoying after that. It's like, no, you want to go home and listen to it again. It's that good. And I've been listening to it for years now, and I'm not tired of it. Like I would still turn it on and listen to it at home. It's my alarm clock in the morning, actually. It reminds me that I've got something to prepare for. So yeah, it's great music. I highly recommend the album. If you can't make it to the show, listen to the album.
I'm gonna add it to the mix here on my Irish Radio for sure. All right, so the story, right? So it's not just we're dancing. It's almost like a play. You're telling a story.
Yes.
You're the lead dance. My Gaelic is crap. So what's the name of the main character?
Okay, his name is Olam.
Olam. All right.
It's easy enough. We'll just leave it at that. His name is Olam.
Like most Irish names, it's scarier than it is. So, all right. So Olam. So you're telling this story, right? It's he coming back and saving the heritage or something. What is the story of the play? Because it's almost like it's a play, right? It's a play set to dance and music. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you asked us earlier about what sets Celtic Throne apart from other Irish dance shows. Yeah. The story is actually a really big thing that makes the show different. Because if you watch like Riverdance or Heartbeat of Home or other Irish dance shows out there, there's like a broad kind of meta narrative that's playing out where the troupe is sort of maybe journeying from somewhere to America or to Ireland or whatever. It's not really clear. There's no characters, right? It's not like Star Wars or whatever.
Right.
Celtic Throne, we've got characters. There's a very clear protagonist, antagonist. There's a conflict. So the story is basically, it's actually lifted out of the Irish annals. We didn't make it up. It's real history that we're bringing to life. It's not very well known, but it's real history. Olam is this ancient sage figure who is born and grew up in the ancient Near East. So the show actually starts with the fall of Jerusalem to Babylon in 586 BC. You have the royal dynasty of Jerusalem. There's a certain culture and royalty and splendor associated with that throne. And Olam is this sage who is determined not to let that culture die, despite the fact that Jerusalem is falling to Babylon. So he gathers the royal princess and some key artifacts from the royal dynasty in Jerusalem, saves them from the downfall of Jerusalem, the destruction of Jerusalem, and he takes them to Ireland. And in Ireland, he basically creates this empire and resurrects the culture, the music, the art, the royalty, the splendor that was in Jerusalem and brings it to Ireland. And that is where a lot of the culture of Ireland actually came from, if you look back at the history. So we're bringing that to life. The whole story of the show is about him trying to create this cultural empire in Ireland and all the forces of evil that are trying to prevent him from doing that and how hard he had to fight to realize his vision. So it's a really inspiring story. It's relevant. It's not something that that most people have heard about, but it's really relevant because we're talking about fighting for culture and preserving a culture. And that's what our family is doing. We're taking a culture that we feel like is worth preserving and spreading and improving. And we're fighting to expand that empire. And that's the story of Olam and his legacy.
I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I get excited talking about
it. The more we talk, the more cheesed off I am that you're not closer to Detroit, and I can see that. So you have like a set of January, I think February dates. You have a set of dates set up. Is there a plan for beyond those dates?
Yeah, I'll chime in here.
Thanks, George.
There is a plan to. Do you want this one? Mm-hmm. There's a plan for another tour potentially in the summer. So we're using this winter tour to kind of launch even more into the summer. So we do have, like you said, we have some dates in Oklahoma on January 4th, Chicago January 13th and 14th, Milwaukee January 15th, Minneapolis January 18th, Indianapolis on the 20th and 21st of January, and then we finish up this tour in Cedar Rapids on the 25th of January. But then we do hope to take a few months to prepare, recover, because it's physically demanding for the dancers, improve, look at where we can improve, get more word out, get more marketing, and then launch another set of shows in the summer. We don't know the exact locations yet. If I could give them to you, I would. It takes a while to organize that. But perhaps when we do know and set things in stone, we can come back on and talk about that tour as well. But we've toured multiple times already. This is a new element or a new show. We toured number one a few times, but this show, Celtic Throne 2, we just came back from an international tour. So it never stops for us. Like we just came back from England, and then we're doing this winter tour. After that winter tour, there's bound to be a summer tour that everyone can, if you feel bad about missing this set of shows, there'll be more, and we'll be sure to get the word out, maybe even on My Irish Radio again.
I really hope you guys do. Would love to have you back when there's more dates on the horizon. We can talk more for sure. So Jude, is there a scene? Is there a part of the story? Is there a scene or is there a dance that is your favorite in the show? Is there one part of it that is like, I look forward to doing this, even though my shin splints are killing me? I need to ice some things down. Regardless, I'm looking forward to this part of the night. What is it for you?
Oh boy. Okay. So I would say, first of all, that my favorite part to watch, like in the recording, is not always my favorite part to do, because some things that look really cool are actually quite nerve-wracking and scary to try to pull off in front of 1,000 people. However, there is a scene that I both really enjoy doing and is very effective. So in the story that I just explained, you have Olam trying to resurrect the culture of Jerusalem and Ireland, right? So the enemies that are trying to stop him, there's a scene where Olam is having this council with all of the kings of Ireland. So you have the king of Leinster and Meath and all of the provinces of Ireland. The four kings are there. The High King is there. And they're having a council, and a messenger breaks in and informs everyone that there's an enemy approaching and that there's going to be a battle. And so there's this scene. It's all told through dance, but it's very obvious what's going on. It's a really, really gripping scene where all the kings are arguing about what they should do, who's fighting who like, and it's all told through dance. So it's like a dance off as they're like debating how to deal with this threat. And then at the end, Olam comes through, which is my character, and rallies them all and unifies them all to fight against the enemy. And I get to do hard shoe and spin a staff at the same time, which is ridiculously hard. It took a long time to learn how to do that. But the fact that it's finally done and it looks good is just, it means the world to me. And it's super fun to do. And it's just getting into the drama with all the other guys on stage and just having this like very manly, very stately and royal bull session. It's just super fun. So yeah, that's my favorite scene. It's called Assembly. In the second half. Stay for the second half.
You gotta stay for the second half. It just sounds like a riot. I'm just again jealous that I'm not going to be able to see it this time around. So, being an American troupe, generally speaking, right? Generally, how are you received internationally?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, that's actually something we were nervous about.
We went to the
Exactly. Yeah, we went to the UK, which is like the mecca of Irish dance.
Right.
Everyone has seen all the shows. Everyone's seen Riverdance. Everyone's seen Lord of the Dance. So we were going thinking like, okay, we got to be at the top of our game because these people know what they're looking at. Not that other audiences don't, but the UK is it's spoiled for entertainment, especially, you know, London's West End and such, which we did perform on. We went to the Hammersmith Apollo, one of the most legendary theaters in all of the UK. It was received surprisingly well. Actually, one of the most common pieces of feedback we received was that this show is better than Riverdance, which we were not expecting, and we didn't obviously tell people to say that. But everyone was just telling us. So yeah. So yeah, it went really well. It was a successful tour. Everyone was wanting us to come back, and hopefully we will at some point with more shows, more theaters around the country. So yeah, the international audiences are a big fan, even those in the UK who are spoiled for Irish dance.
It sounds good. It sounds good. So hopefully a summer tour. This is Celtic Throne 2. Is Celtic Throne 3 in the back of your minds somewhere? Are you? Yeah.
You know, my grandfather recently mentioned Celtic Throne 3 and freaked us all out. We're not planning on doing it right now. My grandfather is like the biggest Celtic Throne fan, and he loves Irish dance. He's the reason we're all doing it because
he's like, I got notes, I got ideas.
Exactly. Well, he was the one that came up with the outline for Celtic Throne 2. He was like, we need to do this story. This is an awesome story, and we did it. So when he suggested Celtic Throne 3, we're like, Grandpa, we know you love Irish dance, but like Celtic Throne 2 almost killed us. And that's not like figurative, like, oh, it was a lot of hard work. Like some of those flips and stuff, there were actual accidents that could have been a lot more dangerous than they were. So yeah, we're not planning on releasing Celtic Throne 3 at the moment. We're not working on it. We don't have an outline or anything, but I can't make any promises that it won't happen in the future.
Sure. I just hope Celtic Throne 2 makes it through a couple different legs of the tour, that I can swoop in and catch you guys someplace in the Midwest.
We hope so too.
For sure. Anything else I need to know about the Celtic Throne before we wrapped up here? Is there a website that people can, should they follow on Spotify? Is there website? Is it ticketing information? What do we need to know about connecting with you guys?
Yep, CelticThrone.com. You can see our tour dates. You can sign up for emails and follow us on socials, where we will announce more shows. And so, like I said, CelticThrone.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, or Twitter, formerly Twitter. And we're on YouTube. YouTube is great because we do post like behind the scenes. We post interviews, vlogs, things like that. If you're a diehard Celtic Throne fan, you can basically stay with us even when we're not on tour. And then for your audience, I have a special discount code for the winter tour. If they want to use the code LOVESTEP, one word, LOVESTEP, they can get $20 off tickets to the Midwest shows. So as a thank you for hearing us out and spreading the word, we wanted to give your audience and incentivize them to come. We know they'll love it if they see it. So come on down to one of our shows, as I mentioned before, CelticThrone.com. And then each theater has their own ticketing platform. So you just go to the theater on the website, you click the show you want, and then that code should work across all the different theater ticketing websites.
Awesome. We'll have that linked. This will be posted on socials and what have you. And all that'll be linked on those social posts, and it'll be up as an archive show. I'll share those links with you guys as well. So thank you so much for taking some time, spending some time. I'm going to close it out. I'm going to play the trailer one more time, and that'll wrap it up. But gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us today, and good luck with break a leg on that tour, or don't break a shin, but best wishes, right?
Thanks.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
It captivated the United Kingdom this summer. Now it returns to America. This January, 8 shows, 6 cities, one unforgettable night of inspiration and joy. Experience Celtic Throne 2, Psalter of Ireland. Join the Celtic family. Experience this trailblazing new show. An electrifying fusion of Irish dance, music, theatre and cinema. Don't miss your opportunity to experience the revolutionary new Irish dance show capturing the hearts of audiences all over the world. Get show and ticket information at CelticThrone.com.